Welcome back to another one of my painting sessions. Maybe you have figured something different out about how the setup is done. I finally have a table. This table is big upgrade, big improvement. We're going up in the world. But I don't have an adequate tripod to accompany it. It will be coming though. But to commemorate just getting a table, I'm gonna do a stencil painting. This painting is going to be, of course, having a stencil. If I'll bring out the stencil right now, it'll be, you know, just like the outline you see right there. But I don't know if, let me just put it down. Yeah, it fits pretty well in there. Don't know if you've heard of the game. Some of you may, some of you haven't, especially with the new DLC that just dropped that I've been talking about. Monster Hunter is the series. This particular monster is called Rathian, but I got the photo of this that I got the cutout from a DreadQueen Rathian, which is from the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate game, or just Generations, because it wasn't in the DLC. If you don't know what that game is, it was a portable only game that came out before Monster Hunter World. So it came out, I think, 2015. I could be wrong. So it's pretty old, not that old. Looks old, but it was the culmination of all the classic styles before, you know, CapCom, who made the series and all the monsters in it, and they made World afterwards. I think 2018. I don't know. The year of that game is beyond me. I forgot. But yeah, like I said, DreadQueen Rathian, or just it looks like a normal Rathian, but I'm going to have more purples in it. I'll bring up the photo that I used. I did not make the photo. This is property of CapCom. Just to get that out of the way, this is a render of the DreadQueen Rathian from Monster Hunter Generations, or Monster Hunter XX. Printed it out. Put it against cardstock, no, like poster board, whatever I use this. What's this called? I'm pretty sure this is poster board. Laid it on it, held it to the sun, or just out there. I had to hold it vertically, so that was a bit of a hassle. And, like, with some time, but I eventually got the outline, and then I cut it with scissors. I don't do X-Acto knives. It's not, I guess, sharp enough. I mean, it's pretty sharp, but not that sharp for what I work with. I mean, if it is, I don't got the skill to make the curves and all, so I just use scissors. And I don't have the ends of it. I'll show you. So I cut things at the very end, not like this, like this. That's how I cut things. Has way more control in there because it moves a bit less when you hold it widely. Okay, I'm going to warn you, this, depending on what I do, this will be a very long video. Maybe longer than my, maybe not, I don't think it'll be longer than my 2-hour one, which was right before this. But this will take a while because, of course, it's a stencil. And I'll be taking extra care of this one in particular, because this alone took me, I don't really have a clock in here, and I can't really use my phone because that's what I'm recording with. I mean, I guess I could see if there's time on it, and there isn't. But looking at like how the sun is, it has been maybe 2 hours to get the stencil off and ready, because it's not an easy stencil. It's also not the hardest one, but it's not easy. I think I did a pretty good job, and I do not want to mess it up. So that's why I put these blocks here, kind of borders, because all this will be, I'll tell you the game plan before I get started, but this will be markers because this will be covered up. I will not be able to see the outlines that I made. So once it's all concealed, I'll be able to use these markers as guidelines to put it. It doesn't have to be exactly on there, but it has to be just about in this center. So game plan is this. The themes are going to be, I don't know if you can see it, I'll check on the camera, to the right, or well, your left. No, you can't see it. You can just see the, or not stencils, but lids over there. But over here, we have all the greens, on my purples, on my pinks. Over here, that's the theme we're going to be using. I'm not going to use a lot of this. I might not even use it, but I will be using this. This is one I do intend on using for the inside especially. So I plan to, of course, make small planet, big planet right there with purple colors, and then mountains here, green, about like a green background. Doesn't have, it will be more dark. Actually, I might put a lot of purple in there and then green out here, but I'll probably put some green here in the mountains, and then I'm going to put purple like here. I'll probably put trees here as well. So planets, space, mountains, trees, lake. Once I got that, I'm not going to do any big trees, by the way. Once I got that done, I'm going to wait because I really don't want to mess this up. I am probably going to pause the video or just stop the video, make a new one, and splice it together. Because I am going to take probably like 30 minutes, maybe even 45, depending on like how stubborn it is to dry, break, to let it all dry. So I don't think y'all want to sit by that even if I am talking. So I'm going to be doing that. Yeah, that's what I plan on doing. I mean, the outside, once I got the stencil on, I'll of course have, you see here, these are all the weights. There's a lot of them. This dot right here is the head of a bolt. So that's what that is. So it's going to be a lot of weight, and still not enough. I need much smaller weights to get the nit pits down. That's why I have to use the tail end of this bolt to put this down. So that's going to be a hazard, because you could already see here, it's a bit like here, especially over here. These are blending in, so it's not as sharp. This is pretty sharp. The mouth is sharp because I put a lot of weights there. The tail, sharp. This is blending, which isn't good. So I'll probably like crease down those problem areas just a little bit. Yeah, once I get the stencil down, outside, I'm conflicted on something. I don't know if I want to, how do you say, I don't want to just do a gradient, just plain colors, because I plan to do just greens and blacks, more green, of course, but I might use space stuff outside of it. I might just do that. But what I wanted to do was do a crackle effect. I wanted to do purple and pink, hot pink, on the bottom layer, and then a lot of green, and then put a pyre over it and let it crackle over. And that's a technique I've seen used by SprayArt and John Barber. But of course, in the place I am in right now, I can't really use what they use, which is, of course, just a lighter and probably gloss paint, or just clear coat. because there are sprinklers here, just in case it does get a bit heated. I don't think it will, but Pops won't be pretty happy if I accidentally light the whole garage on fire. And so I'm probably not going to do that, unfortunately. It's also, with that much paint, it might just seep in, especially on those openings, seep in on those areas. So even though I really want to do that, just to focus on this. So I'm not gonna, because I am gonna eventually just gonna do the space thing, I'm just gonna put planets like here. That's it. Like, I'll bring out size I'm gonna use. I'll just use this. I'll make the stencil over here so it doesn't get messed up. There we go. Okay. I'll probably just put stencils here. Just very small planets, but you know, enough. So, because this will be the main cornerstone. This will be, or not cornerstone, this will be the main attraction, as it should be. It is, I think, a very well done stencil, and I'm very proud of it. Once again, I will be keeping this stencil as a prize, because it is very, it's hard. It's hard to get a stencil like this, man. Like, it is a pain. Like I said, 2 hours, maybe not, maybe even 3. I don't know. I gotta, like, I don't have a watch on me because I left it. Actually, no, there is on a radio here. 3 hours. Yeah, I was right. My second assumption, it was 3 hours. So that took a while. So yeah, that was a synopsis. I'm going to put some right over here just to remind myself that I do intend to put planets here, and that they will be green. Just put these over here. Let me get my gloves on, and then we'll get started. I'll probably move this planet a bit down. So, don't want to take up too much, like, up here space. Or I do, but it's what are you saying? It just doesn't look like it's doesn't fit here. It's too much curve for too little curve over here. So I had to put this down. So I have something like this, but bigger over here. So I'm not going to try to quicken up. I am just going to take my time, because I'm really hoping, I kind of have a good feeling about this, but to make it work, I have to make it. First, I'm going to put this glove on. And these are my backup gloves. These are very tight. I don't really have big arms either, or hands. There we go. Okay. Okay, just gotta get this off. Alright. Okay, well, that's there it is. Alright. You can put these stencils over here, right next to you, where the camera is. Okay. I think this also helps not get hair all in it, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna put some comets in there, shooting stars. I'll put some more over here. And now, special stars, big stars. And I'm also just going to get this, cover this stencil over, just to see. Okay. I suppose that's one, but the other one right there. I think that's alright. Where did I put this? I'll put something over here, I might need it later. When I say there, I mean over there. I have my cans and some other stuff. I pick up lids that I'm using over here. And what I just used to make this small stars. Okay, anything else? Yeah, right. I got a So I'm going to have green mist and then purple mountains. That's the plan. Got some concentration in there. And fading up here. I think that's good. Just to clarify, the poison, or the color poison that this Rathian uses, or this wyvern from, I think it's a dragon. I'm not going to do the whole, well, actually, it's a wyvern, it's a dragon, whatever it is, it's a monster. Whatever this thing is. I've been playing, I probably got like 1,000 hours on Monster in a World. I'm not pro, I'm not a newbie. I know what it is, but I also don't play when it comes to other people knowing what it is. So, this thing, like I was saying, the Rathian uses a purple-ish, like this color. I don't know if you can see that. I'll probably cut it out first, unfortunately. Or I may not, I don't know. But it's this color mixed in with a tiny bit of red sometimes. On its later stages, there's some red in it. That's the depict poison. This is just normal one. And normal Rathian poison, I believe it's just purple. But the reason why I'm putting some of this in is to clarify that yes, this thing does in fact have this. And I should have incorporated a bit more, but it's fine. And not a lot of people know the DreadQueen Rathian, so I could just say, well, it's a Rathian, and no one would know. I wouldn't even know if I didn't know what I was making. Sometimes I don't know what I'm making. Anyway, we're going to go to the mountains. Like that. It's going to be purple, like I said. I'll put a little bit of pink there. And if there's gonna be like a lake, I just make a line over there. I'm gonna make it a bit crooked. Going to resemble what this monster is all about. And it's not all about just being crooked, but it will resemble a bit of the scales, I guess. It's not all uniform. That's monstrous. Just give me a moment. So I was just showing my little brother my stencil. Say hi.
Hello.
I see you said hi. There's no little Shane's little brother cameo right there. Once in a lifetime, truly. You'll never see him again. And this is going up towards the head, little noggin. So I'm going to end it off right there because it's not, I mean, I don't do it, but it's not really going to come up much because it'll just be cut off. This bit will also probably be cut off, but I'm just going to keep it in it, just to keep it in it. Background mountains. Some jagged edges there. Okay.
in for this. And like I said previous, I have played quite a bit of Monster Hunter. I'll put a little history here, a little Shane lore for y'all. I have played Monster Hunter, the series, again made by CapCom. I don't think they're the people to do it, but just in case. Okay. Anyway, I first started playing their games at the Monster Hunter series at World is when I was introduced. I actually didn't think it was going to be a good game. I remember vaguely, but now like this was a really long time ago, that I thought poorly of it because I didn't know what it was about. I thought it was like another Final Fantasy game. Because from the cover, it kind of looked like it. The gameplay that I did see was, I don't remember a lot of it, but it didn't look fun. Whatever they were doing, it didn't look fun. I remember that. So, once I actually got the game because it was on Game Pass, just, for laughs and giggles, I guess. I played it, and I'm going to be honest with you, it was one of the best games I've played, right beside Bloodborne. It is a great game. There are only a few few flaws with it. One of them, which I'm a big advocate of, is the slap-on weapons. If you know what I'm talking about, good for you. Because we both know what I mean. The slap-on weapons were a disgrace to the Monster Hunter series, because for each monster, sometimes there wasn't a weapon for it, and sometimes there was, because there's 14 different weapons. Some weapons have a particular monster weapon, a designed weapon, some don't. But they all had their own design. If they were chosen to be made from the monster, like let's say, like the Rathian, for example. Some weapons, like all of them, I'm pretty sure all weapons had Rathian designs, but still, let's say that there wasn't. There was 3 out of place. 3 that were not chosen by Capcom to have a Rathian design, or a Rathian weapon to that weapon type. If you know what I'm saying. If you don't, that's fine. Just in, out, ears. Just, so, in the world, it was not unique. There was no unique designs like the previous games. Because in the previous games, like I said, if they're chosen, they had beautiful designs. Monster Hunter World did not most of the time. They were very lazy with it. They had maybe, because there was like big trees like metal and bone, which are large spanning in Monster Hunter World in the sense of metal weapons looking the exact same in another monster tree or weapon tree, but with that monster's part slapped on. I don't mean completely covered, no, I mean covered, maybe like a quarter, maybe even just a half if they were generous. It was not a lot. It was awful. So it's very unfortunate that they had to do that. There's actually mods out there, depending on PC versions of the game, that the community has made their own weapon designs and returning weapon designs, because previous weapon designs that were already made, most of them did not cross over. So they just, instead of just removing their weapons from the previous games. No, they decided to go above and beyond and you slap on weapons. This is one of my main critiques of the Monster Hunter World. Every other aspect is brilliant, it's great. But that part, it's terrible. I hate it. The big part for me is seeing the new weapon design, because they look cool and they are unique. But if they're not, it just drives away what they should be. I'm gonna get sick with this. I know I'm just gonna crouch down and doing this. Break my back in the process. Woo. There we go. I feel like I'm actually working now. Yeah, what was I on about earlier about Monster Hunter? Oh yeah, I'm not a veteran. Monster Hunter World was my first game, but I played Generations Ultimate like maybe a few years after, and I really enjoyed the game. I have not hit G rank yet, but I'm pretty close. So of course, Monster Hunter Sunbreak has been sucking that time away. I'm actually gonna get some red in here, mix it in with a paint, make that iconic color for DreadQueen Rathian Poison. Mix that in. I'll put a little bit of purple in there. Nothing. Bit more variety. Sorry if you can't see it, because I'm pretty sure you can't. My apologies. Okay. Alright. Get this going. Oh yeah, where was I? Monster Hunter Generations, I really like it. You can get it on the Switch for, I believe, only $40. So it's pretty good. It has a lot of content, an obscene amount of content for you to enjoy. And the monsters in there, if you've played World, half of them you do not know. Maybe even more than half. There is a lot in there. Even if you played Rise, there is a lot in there. It's crazy. And like I said, it was the culmination of all the classic games before it. Before CapCom eventually took the route of Monster Hunter World, giving it revamp for modern audiences, and World did a very good job of that. I believe it was the top-selling game ever as a company, which is crazy. Rise, I'm going to be honest, it's a bit lackluster. Sunbreak is a bit better. It's not perfect. The monster designs are much better, but they could have done with more new monsters or just sub-variants. I know they're going to add a lot later on, but they should have really had maybe like just 3 or 5 more monsters, because it really felt I was just going through Rise, but with some odd stuff, and I did not really like the Rise. I still played it to completion, of course, but could have done it a bit better. I didn't really like what's it called? The thing that lets you the Wirebug. Didn't really like that. The Touch Clone World I thought was a good addition. Some people really hate it, and their reasons are I don't like it. I mean, it's because I have to use it. No, you don't have to use it. Of course, you could say the same thing about the Wirebug. In some instances, you kind of do have to use it, without dying. And in some of the monster mechanics to make you use the Wirebug, it's really good. Like Magna Malo, the flagship monster of Rise, testing you on your ability to do so. I really like that. But in other circumstances, it just makes you a bit more overpowered than all of them, which I don't like. I like to have some challenge in there. And the new monsters, 3 new ones, they really do that in terms of sub-variants as well. They really do add that difficulty that I really wanted. But the returning monsters, not so much. Of course, the new attacks, I really like them. But it's a bit luster for a lot. Of course, I haven't finished it. I'm at the second of the 3 lords, which is, because I'm pretty sure they only added 4, including the final boss, 3 new monsters, completely new monsters. Not returning or sub-variants, completely new. I'm not counting sub-variants as new. Or subspecies. I'm not counting subspecies as new, because they had a base to go on with that. Of course, Monster Hunter World Iceborne had a lot of sub-variants. Most of them, they could have done a bit better with them, because it's basically just a reskin, new element, same attacks. At least in Rise, they act completely differently, which I like. Well, so far anyway. I fought 2 of the 5, but what I've seen, they do act differently, all of them. So, looking forward to going through that. But I'm also playing World with one of my buddies. Well, a few of them, actually. But one's a bit more active than the other. So I'm doing that at the moment. Well, not at the moment, I'm doing this at the moment. So that's what I'm doing in terms of Monster Hunter. Well, in terms of Monster Hunter, I'm painting this. This is something I also plan on doing much more. I'm going to do more detailed work now, because I think I've gotten to the stage, if this turns out well, if it doesn't discourage me of doing more, I think I have gotten to the stage of which I can successfully do this, even though it takes much more time, it's much more rewarding, and it also pays much more. if I find a buyer, of course. Yes, these are all for sale. Most of you who are watching, my stores will probably be available. When they are, I'll link them in my YouTube. They're just going to be Etsy, Facebook Marketplace if I can do that, eBay, whatever site I could get my hands on, I'm going to sell on it. That, promotes stuff like this to be sold. I'm selling it on that site. I'm not going to make my own website. I might, but I'll only do that once I get like a few sales. So I know people are interested in it. And of course, I've sold these to people in person, but not really online. I haven't really done that, or at all. I tried on Etsy, but I have to be 18 plus. Not gonna use another person's information for that. Which you could do, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait, which, it isn't long, it's just a few days. And of course this video will come out, maybe it'll come out on that day, I don't know. Depending when I send this out. But I'm not recording it on that day, on my birthday. I'm sending it a few days before, recording it a few days before. Okay, almost done with the front mountains, and then I go to the back. That won't take a lot of time. Okay, 1 second, I'm actually see something here. Okay, there we go. There's an outline there, I just had to fill it in. Now I can just leave that little splotch there. That's basically what it was. And whoever's going to have this in their hands, I don't think they're going to look at the fine details, but just in case they do, I'm not going to let them find that mistake. They could find other mistakes, just not that one. Okay. And I go to that in there. And then just going to cover this up. There we go. Alright. Sorry if my head's in the way. I don't think it is, but it might. So I'm sorry if it is. Gonna have to be in front of this. Okay. But back on the Monster on the Park. I've played Rise maybe like 200 hours, I don't know. So I played it. Like, some of the monsters choosing, that's a whole nother rant, especially with Baby Beast, one of my favorite monsters. Doesn't have it for the Charge Blade, even though it makes the most sense for it to be in the Charge Blade, but I'm not going to shut them down. I'm not going to do that. Because if I do, some people who play the weapon I don't like, I'm not going to say what, they will get very mad at me because they are very defensive about their choice. And no, it's not hunting horn. No one dislikes the hunting horn. No one wants to play it. That's all. Simple as. Okay. And I'm actually going to add a bit of white over here. Well, not pink. One white there. Some snow caps on there. That's fine, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I'm just gonna hit it over here. Okay, I'm not gonna use this red anymore. Right there. I'm also not gonna use this green. So we have that. Okay. One at a time, one at a time. I'll get the glass just in case. Hopefully I won't need it. I don't think I will. Put a bit more white on there. A bit more white. So, I don't know why I'm walking on my pants. They're not pink pants. I'm walking on my shirt because that is a pink shirt. And this might not do me any good. I'll put this couple here. I'll stick these in. Okay. Alright. I want to put the green. Okay, the green in between here. Okay, everything from white. But not right. Nothing. Okay. There you go. Okay. There we go. Good looking lake. The mountains over here. I'm just going to, because this will probably be obscured. I'm going to see. I'll lay it down again. Not lay it down, but I'm just going to hover it. Essential. Just so I know what I'm dealing with. Okay. Alright, so how to deal with this? Okay. I'm actually not going to use this. I'm going to use another green. Okay. Or it's just gonna stay there, I guess. Okay. Alright. So now is free time. That's what time it is. Any purple trees. Should it be green trees? Yes, this would be in a normal world, but this is a world outlined by a Rathian. That's not normal. Okay. Keep it flat. Okay. I don't think that's been covered, so I think I'm good. But just in case I do the whole thing. Why not? So much trees never hurt anyone. There you go. Might just put coastline there. Outline trees. But I will of course cover it with a mist. Green mist. There we go. I'm gonna cover this. Okay. There we go. Well, I'm good. Where is it? Yeah, I think that's good. I don't think this will be covered, but let me see. Let me cover it a little bit. I'm just gonna put a little bit of spray there. I'll put some here for consistency. And then there, and then there we go. So actually. That's good. I think this is going to come out very well. So that's good, I think that. Okay, this is the time. Let me see any other touches. No other touches.
This is the time that I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna skip so you don't have to. Even if you wanted just to skip forward, I'm not gonna let you, even though you probably just did, because I just said that. So, I'll check the time, see how I'm doing. Gauge out how much longer it'll be for the finished product. An hour already, that makes sense. Outside bit's not gonna take as long, don't worry. So I'm gonna stop now. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now, wait for it to dry, especially the lake. I'll start again when I'm ready to place it on. But I will only do that when it is completely dry. So that will most likely be a very long time. When that happens, it will be very darker than it already is. So, yeah, I'll be back. See you then. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, I did some stuff. I placed down the stencil with all of the weights down. I also have the lids for the planets, and I reshook the cans. I also have a new can here, red can. I'm gonna put it on. You have an aura, I guess, on the tail, as that is where the poison comes out of, obviously. If you played Monster Hunter, that's where it comes out. And DreadQueen Rathian poison is, like I said, or like I mixed in. It's almost exactly this color. So I'm gonna try to recreate that. And it's basically just red and a little bit of hot pink in there. That's it. So I'm just gonna do a little aura over there. Make it a little bit spacey. So yeah, start now. Well, actually, I'm also going to get a gloss can. This screen decides to be a menace. I'm going to have that as a preventative, not a preventative measure, but a backup. Yeah, this is going to be a pain. Like I said previous, the background is going to be green with purple undertones, while the middle is, or the center is going to be purple with green undertones. So it's going to be the inverse. So yeah, let me get started now. Enjoy.
right? No, for so if we're not talking about this and keep compensation to make sure this isn't messed up. Okay. Alright. I think that looks alright. I am trying right now. This comes off smoothly. Some of it's already peeling off, which is good. Not the paint, but the paper. I'm gonna take a chair for this. Sit down. Okay. Do the first one. In between. Okay, pretty clean over there. Take that off. So unseal it, I guess. That's what I gotta do, so I'm gonna do that. Just unseal it. It doesn't look like it's sticking. Good. I mean, it's not peeling the paint on me, that's what I mean when I say that. The hair came off pretty flawlessly. I'm gonna refrain from touching it. I'm touching that. Maybe I should have waited a bit, but I just gotta see how it turns out. Because So now I have it pressed up against my chest for support. Okay, just because I'm pretty messing up like the rest of the bit, I'm gonna let it sit for a bit.
Because you can see over here I'm making it peel, which ain't the best. So I'm gonna try to pat this down. Get that a bit better. Outside looks pretty good. The reason why I put red a little bit here and there, especially here, because that's where the poison comes out from, like I said. And that's the color. And it also flings parts of that shards of that poison in the form of crystals from that tail. So I tried to imitate that into comets. I wanted to do it over here, but there wasn't really a lot of room. But I think up above is fine. Some of them didn't really go as planned. I wanted them to kind of look like this, but this is alright. It's fine. It's not bad. At the end of the day, that's what I'm going for, just not bad. And right now, it's not looking bad. It's actually looking pretty good. Come on, baby. Come on, not that hard. Not that much further. Sorry, so the green there, that's not good. Don't want that much green. All from my gloves, huh? Yeah. I'm gonna try to turn this over. Then turn on, like, poke it. Or like, scissor my way through. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. Of course, unfortunately, you kind of have to look hard enough, or you kind of just have to look hard to see where the Rathian starts and begins sometimes. That's not the best. I can't just put it back down, so it sucks. Should have done just blacker, I guess. On the ridges. I was a bit afraid that it would not look good, really. I guess I could try to put it back down, but it probably wouldn't look as good. But I'm gonna try anyway, because I'm really not happy with this. Because you could barely say that's where the mouth is, because the mountains, it's really convoluted. But it's very difficult to begin with, just to start find where it's, yeah, basically impossible to get it perfectly back on where you had it in the first place. Yeah, a bit far off. Okay, hopefully like the gloss could help it. And up here, that's the main bit I suppose, but the head is still notable. You kind of do have to see it. I really should have just did more, because the light above me is really not helping. Okay. Like I said, it's almost impossible to get it exactly where you had it. You see, it's always off by some margin. Some part of it, it's always off. Always. So when I would try, if I did try to do this in, let's say I just put it there. Or there. If I put black here, then it would cover up. And then when I remove it, this will be a part of this, and it just will not look coherent. So I'm really just hoping that the gloss cleans things up. But it probably won't. I also hope it won't cause the same problems as last time. Come on. Or the shading of places disappears. I mean, it kind of helped. I was envisioning more contrast. That obviously did not happen. I mean, there's some up here, there's like some sheer contrast. So I know it's there, but you are going to have to kind of, you know, interpret what's happening differently. Because you can, I mean, now this is a bit more noticeable. It's just because I've been looking at it more. Should I spray one more time? It's not really affecting much. Okay, small little spray there. Signature. Good signature. Okay. It's not perfect, but I am still very proud of it. It still came out pretty well. I'm actually going to put it over here so you can see it, because I don't think you can see it from there with the angle that I have. Okay, what about that? That should be good. Yeah, that should be good for you. Yeah. Part of this, yeah, I'm really proud of it. Hopefully later on it will darken a bit and it will become much more noticeable. The lines are much smoother than I first anticipated, which is very good. Not smoother, but sharper. The lines for the stencil is much sharper than first anticipated, so that's really good. I think if someone from Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate who fought DreadQueen Rathian, or just a normal Rathian, I think they'd be able to discern with some context that this is in fact a Rathian. But that context bit, that's what makes it not perfect. Because it's, as much as the lines are clean, you kind of have to find those lines. Because the colors I used kind of melded together. So, sucks. But, well, I'll learn, because I do plan to do more Monster Hunter themed paintings and stencils. More Rise themed ones, of course. I wanted to do like all the Generations Ultimate deviants, which DreadQueen Rathian is considered a deviant monster. But I think that's too niche, because I would like people to know more about this. Maybe they'll get a bit more inspired. That's not my main goal, but it will help. So yeah, I got all that done. Everything is done. I hope you have enjoyed the process of this as much as I have, and enjoyed the product as much as I have. I mean, it was my first real stencil painting, and I think it turned out very well, especially the stencil. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll still say it. If you like the video, give it a like. It helps me understand that y'all enjoy this, especially with me doing something new on two fronts. First front being, what this painting is derived from, which is CapCom's Monster Hunter series. The second is me using a stencil, and there's kind of a third, which is just, using a table, but I wouldn't really consider that. But I should be getting a tripod soon to put my phone on, so that should help a bit. And of course, subscribe if you are willing to. Also helps me much more than liking. So I'm gonna go over to the camera. Final outros. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, for me it's night, but if it's day for you, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if it's night for you, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Until next time, you accompany me on another one of these. Hopefully it's another stencil painting. Until then, bye-bye.